It started like a horror movie, 2 bodies as soon as you walk in, and it's a total hellscape inside, as if live people are a myth. Following the gunfire, Memon tiptoed up to the second floor, ready to storm the big boss lair, but was startled by Chris the Phantom lurking behind. The coolest Memon didn't possess even the courage to turn his head and look back. Yes, they've truly grown up, haven't they indeed? Subtitles. Were you a good father previously? Yeah, I used to be a super dad back then. I used to be a dirty cop, a weak villain, but hey, no losses here. I'm doing right. If it weren't for Raymond, Gramps wouldn't have been a goner. It's precisely due to his flawless remarks that Chris didn't put him on the menu because, Chris also has a dad he's proud of. After a while, Raymond called in a rookie analyst and showed him a picture of Chris. He looks like a celebrity. Raymond knows almost nothing about Chris now. He's dying to meet this god before retirement. Meanwhile, Chris' smart assistant is trying to get him on the line. I've been looking for you who? Unsavory folks, let's try the right customers. To keep Chris safe, the assistant recommended a company selling robotic coins for the disabled, founded by someone named Bourne. At least he looks honest. But to Chris, capitalists can sometimes be less trustworthy than the mob. Alas, he had to listen to the assistant. The next day, Chris arrived at the company and met the founder's sister and the treasurer. It felt like a conference. The company just hired an accountant, Dana, and one look at the books revealed a mess. They brought in a big gun like Chris to soar through the mountain of old accounts. How long have you been at this company? 15 years. I need the last 15 years of books. You're such a jerk. After laying down the law, Chris headed to meet the founder. Bourne. It's all like a big meeting. The accounts involve selling fake mechanical values, government procurement, and tech R&D so complex. All those years of accounts are handed over to Chris alone. Bourne wants to know if anyone has been siphoning off company funds. After the handover, Chris dashed to the meeting room where Dana had already organized all the files for him. She intended to help Chris with the sorting, but he shot back. I absolutely don't need help here. Arranging 12 markers, Chris jumped into account sorting like a number-crunching wizard. With an extraordinary sense for numbers and a memory like an elephant, he's practically got a photographic memory. After memorizing the data, Chris scribbled down the accounts, comparing them with historical receipts and splits. He marked all the problematic amounts, looking like a math genius at work. Chris worked tirelessly into the night. The next day when Dana walked into the meeting room, she was utterly shocked. Before she could react, Chris excitedly explained, "The whole company rakes in millions yearly. It's all a steady growth trend, as long as materials and expenses don't rise. Although total income has been rising, it's clearly not proportional, indicating someone's been cooking the books." Then Chris demonstrated to Dana that many folks have a habit of using fixed numbers when altering accounts. It appears that the person altering the accounts has a fondness for using 3 in the second position when asterisk, and just then, the founder's sister walks in. She first shooed Dana away, then asked Chris how it was looking, and Chris told her they were missing $61.09 million. As for who all was involved and how much they took, Chris needs to whip up a report to find out. That night, Treasurer Ed got home and found a bunch of hitmen presenting him with 2 bottles of insulin. Choice 1, give yourself a little injection and spare your wife the trouble. Choice 2, both of you get filled with bullets. Sounds like a choice, but no matter which one he chooses, Ed's doomed. The hitman didn't tell Ed how much he had pocketed. Deep down, Ed knew it was enough to buy his fate. Next day, Chris arrived to prepare the report, and found workers had erased half his work. Chris was totally crushed. As a perfectionist, being unable to finish the job was torturous. But Bourne walked in and said the treasurer has already taken the plunge. Let's wrap this up. After that, he sent Chris payment out, making him feel like he was sitting on needles. But Bourne wanted to drop it, and Chris had no say, but this was way more complicated than he thought. With his perfect world shattered, Chris was venting on his friend's farm with a chainsaw. Little did he know The elderly couple was already being hunted down by the hitmen. What a stroke of bad. The hitmen were left with no choice but to use their guns to coerce the old lady into calling Chris inside. What an amazing coincidence regarding the sound of his name. But Chris knew something was wrong inside. The gunshots outside nearly made his skinny pants wet. To save his own life, he decided to take the elderly couple along with him, and the three of them drove off in a hurry. Unexpectedly, when Chris started it up, he shot the engine to bits with one shot. It didn't even stop and immediately restarted the pickup. With a sudden application of the brakes, both of them were instantly thrown forward in front of the car. To the elderly couple, Chris seemed just like a sniper accountant.